Can you comment in and see if everyone can see the proper screen? Or like, what do you see in the screen?
Because it looks like from the preview. Interesting. Okay, Karen's seeing blank.
Okay.
Which from the preview live, which I can see too, it looks.
That's weird. Yeah, I see that.
You see like the animation pane?
Yep.
It's like a weird PowerPoint.
Yep.
Kind
Okay.
of heading. So it's like you can see.
Okay. Let's get rid of this. I think it needs to be window capture, not. Yeah, it says window capture.
But at least Karen can hear me.
That's good.
Oh. Now it's a black screen.
Yeah, it's going to be a black screen now because I'm trying to.
Okay.
I don't want the meeting controls. Why is this doing what it's doing? It shouldn't be doing this.
Like, da-na-na-na.
What happens if I do display capture? I could try. That's going to be too confusing. Why is it doing this? So if I go back to Zoom, I'm still sharing my screen. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because I can see. Yep, and now it's just us two.
Okay, so. Window capture. 5.
Okay. Yeah, because now Karen can see us and then lots of screen sharing stuff. And then it's gone. She's giving us live play-by-play. Thanks, Karen.
That's great, Karen. This is why we're here. Okay.
Thanks for bearing with us, audience.
Yes. This is very important. Okay. Now, so we've got it on the Zoom. Now what happens if I go onto Zoom and share my screen?
Okay. Let's see here.
It just seems to be frozen when I look at it from OBS. Karen, so great.
What's funny is there's definitely a preview delay.
Yeah, yeah.
From what I can see on the on the preview pane.
It seems to have like just stopped.
Yeah. Because it hasn't even hit. I remember turning my head before you.
Yep.
hit the share screen, and that's where it's like stopped right now.
Why are you the way that you are?
And I don't know if that's like an inner Zoom. It's not like we're playing a video though, because I've had that issue.
Yeah.
Of like, say if you were like trying to play like a video clip, and you were sharing your screen with me.
Yeah.
I know that for some people, like they can't do that. And I don't know if it's something to do with like the slew Zoom account we have, or whatnot. Because I have one friend in our friend group who like can do like the Zoom video sharing for movies.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's coming into play here.
That might be. I might follow up with Beth about this one because she is more familiar.
Yeah. Because like I know some people had like accounts before everything kind of blew up, and so there might be just settings or something that our slew accounts just don't allow. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that would come into play here, just because it's not like you're sharing a video per se.
Right. Let me just try this. And then if I go to like, so what do you see now?
So within the Zoom, I see us at the top, and then I do see just the presentation. So where to eat in London.
Okay. What do you see in the YouTube?
I see like 8 million screens.
Okay. So it should like be flipping.
Oh wait, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. So like you can do it this way. There's got to be a smoother transition.
Yep.
But okay, I know what I did there to get that. We can do. So we could do our little presentation and see how it works.
Yeah. No, I think that works because at least right now we can see. It looks like we can see where to eat in London and our two faces.
Perfect. Okay. Well, let's move forward like this, and I will follow up with.
And Karen says yes, same. So
great. Okay. Cool. Well, welcome everyone to. Since none of us are traveling anywhere, I thought I'd bring a little bit of London to you. And Victoria will be fielding all of your questions and hopefully peppering in some of her own, and we'll see how this goes. All right. Cool. So I thought I would show you some of my favorite places to eat for that are in different sections of the city and very different vibes. So this is the London Tube map, which is helpful for knowing where things are in terms of what stop they are, but is not very good for explaining the area of the city as it is not to scale remotely. But I have a couple of spots that I'll show you in East London, which is the large circle on the right of your screen.
Okay.
One of my favorite spots to get food in central London, particularly if you're going to a show and you're in the theater district, and that's the second largest circle towards the center. I will introduce you to a little hole-in-the-wall Italian cafe on Portobello Road for all of you Paddington fans out there. And that's the circle on the far left. And then the final circle between those two is the Kensington area where I would often go to this one little coffee shop, although there are branches of that coffee shop all over the city. That was just my favorite one.
All right. So, Amelia, we are getting a comment from Joe.
Yeah.
In terms of can we get rid of the Zoom bar?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to do that at this point, but we will ask that of Beth.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what he's talking about there.
Yeah, the control bar.
control bar that you can see on the bottom.
I wonder, is there a way to hide it? Hide video panel? Oh, hide floating meeting controls. Boom! Thanks, Joe. All right, so we'll stop in East London first if everyone's still ready to go. One of my favorite stops in London was this road called Brick Lane, which was about half curry shops and half hipster heaven. And so you could find anything you wanted on this road, but I do recommend the curry shop half. I would recommend doing research ahead of time about which curry shop you want to go to, because if you're walking along trying to pick one, there are employees from all of the shops outside encouraging you to enter theirs and yelling why their particular shop is best. And it can be a little overwhelming, but all of them are fantastic, so it's hard to go wrong. And as I said, if you continue down, you find food halls and hipster coffee shops, used bookstores and vintage clothing sales, the Adidas women's studio for free running classes and health classes. So that's one of my overall favorite stops to get food and all kinds of fun and entertainment. But one of my other favorite parts of East London was the Prospect of Whitby pub, which was one of our most frequented haunts. We would go because it was right near the church I attended, and so my friends and I would go to the pub every single Sunday night after the service for some chips and a time to hang out. It was also one of those moments that made me feel like I was living in a sitcom, because inexplicably, I've always wondered in sitcoms why people always are able to sit at the same table in the same bar or coffee shop or wherever they are. But as we started going to the Prospect of Whitby, I realized that that's not so unusual, as we would always sit at the same table upstairs that was, no matter how busy the pub was, it was always inexplicably free for us, to the extent that we could go and order at the pub and just tell them that we'd be at the table, even though we hadn't gone and scoped it out yet. But it was also a classic English pub, with parts of it having existed since the 1500s. The floors were uneven. It was several buildings kind of slapped together, really gave you a feel for the authentic British pub. And now we're going to take a little trip into central London, into the theatre district. Right across the street from the theater where Wicked would perform was this little, almost blink and you miss it restaurant called Lime Orange, Korean restaurant. And it was one of the best places for dinner, for both the quality of the food and the price. I highly recommend the bibimbap, which I can't spell, but is delicious. Although they also had really great teriyaki, udon noodles, just brilliant food. Now we're going to move towards Portobello Road. Portobello Road is in West London. It's a part of the city known for its brightly colored houses, features in the Paddington books and movies, and is a major tourist destination, and it was also right around the corner from where I used to work when I lived there. So I walked Portobello Road all the time. And one of our favorite places to go on Portobello Road was this little hole-in-the-wall Italian cafe called Portobello Garden that if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't find it, because you had to walk through a consignment shop, as you can see in the photo on the left, to even enter this small little cafe. But once you found it and you entered it, you would just be enveloped with this smell of truffles and olive oil, and herbs, and it was incredible. I particularly liked the octopus salad.
Good memories there, Amelia.
Oh, yeah.
Some squid pasta.
Oh, better than the English squid pasta I've had. But yeah, it was great. And so my coworkers and I would often find ourselves down here to grab a quick bite, because it was so close and so delicious.
Cool. Yeah, I love those types of places. I often think of like diners, drive-ins, and dives when they're, when Guy kind of goes to like the strip mall and then you go through like the dry cleaning place and all of a sudden there's this great little hole in the wall and, you find a lot of hidden gems. So that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's, the next time any of you are in London, you got to hit it up.
Yeah.
And then finally, I'd like to introduce you to Gails Bakery, which, as I said, you can find all across London, but I would often go to the one just off of the West Kensington tube stop, which is right by the Victoria and Albert Museum, Hyde Park, the Natural History Museum. And it would be great to go and get a coffee and a snack and walk through Hyde Park on a Sunday afternoon. I particularly, though, liked their chai lattes with oat milk. That was my big takeaway. And it's probably the best lattes I've ever had. I took Austin there when we were visiting last August, and he agreed, so I'm taking it as being right. But their pastries are also phenomenal as well.
Okay, so here's a good comment, Amelia. So Joe says Slew Connect London in FY22. I'd agree there. Joe.
I volunteer as tribute for this program.
I think you'd get a lot of volunteers for heading there.
Absolutely. I can do the tour. So yes. So those are my best places in London. Now, if I can figure out how to find my controls again that I've hidden so well. There we go. And so we will stop our screen share at this point. Do we have any other questions at this point in time?
Yes, any questions out there? I will say I did bring a prop.
Nice
little phone booth. I got this actually when I went to London for a like high school spring break trip.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
only
fun.
had 3 days there. So definitely need to go back because you can't do enough in 3 days in London.
It's true.
So.
Yes, absolutely. It's fun. They've kept up a lot of those red phone booths, but instead of having phone lines in them anymore, they're little Wi-Fi boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Cool. And they're all over the city. So do we have any other questions?
Outside of Keniston is greater than Kensington. It doesn't look like we have questions, but we do invite those if there are any out there, or if it's just what food are you wishing for right now? I know we had some comments on some tea and scones.
Nice.
Yep, from Karen. And Karen is also asking, can we make our screen bigger now? So.
Yes, we can. I think there's a better way of achieving the screen share with the presentation with our videos attached, but we will have to explore that further to do a more seamless transition.
That is fair. Lots of learning here.
Yeah. So, I could go for some tea and scones, not gonna lie. That's why we will have them at the wedding reception.
Yes, yeah. Tea is always good.
So, all right. Well, if we are good here, then I think we can change screens really fast and bid everyone farewell.
Yes. Thank you all for joining. I know I wish I had some of those options for lunch today, but hopefully sometime soon.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, Turkish Delight. Do we have any Turkish Delight? Sorry, Joe, I don't.
But you can buy it in the Shoreditch Spitalfields Market near Brick Lane. They would have an entire thing of Turkish delight. All right. Cool. Well, we are going to wrap this up.
All right.